Hello everybody and welcome to the Mechanical channel, and if you like what you're seeing on the channel at the moment, why not like and subscribe and click the little bell icon so you never miss another video. And we're doing an organ chat once again here at Fentham Hall, home to a 3 manual 11 rank Compton. Right, joining me now is Gordon Whitehouse of the COS, the Midlands District Secretary. So tell us a bit about this instrument, because this is its third home, isn't it?
It's pretty well always been on the move actually since it was in here. It started in West Bromwich, Tower Cinema. Then it went to, it came out of there, it went in hiding for a little while. It was bought up by someone privately, but nothing ever happened with it. And then it then went to the hospital at Marston Green, in the lounge, the nurses' lounge, and from then it went to Solihull, to a school in Solihull, St Martin's School, and then the school, as is always, wanted space, so we had to move out, and eventually we found this and we signed a contract. So I've taken all the casters off now, it's not moving anywhere. And for the first time, out of interest, it's actually sounding for the first time as it should.
Yeah.
You being an expert, you will know that. But in the cinema, from what I can recall, the chambers were under the stage. It was the same in the hospital, in the nurses' quarters, on the side wall. It was the same in St Martin's School, so for the first time we've got sound coming from left and from the right.
Because it has been enlarged as well, hasn't it?
Yes.
Over the years.
It's had various additions too, and it was actually had a lot of work undertaken by I can't remember his name, Tom Sheffield. Sorry, he did a lot of work on the organ before I took over from it. But since 1998, which is when I was appointed as District Secretary, it's had little work done to it apart from a new general's put on.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I used to be Acoustics got a special connection with me, this instrument, because I wrote into the Organist Entertains when I was a whippersnapper at the age of 15.
Nigel Ogden?
Yeah, Nigel Ogden, and it was this organ when it was in the school, 5'2", I remember played. Yeah. And again, because this was opened by Leslie Taff, wasn't
That's
it?
Right.
Yeah,
that's right.
Excellent musician.
Oh yeah, I mean it's had quite a few famous names playing it. A lot of them I can't recall, but a lot of them have been very, very famous organists, and we've had a lot of the American organists over as well, and being part of the Cinema Organ Society circuit, they travel all around. So
everyone's played this now.
Everyone's played it, but I can only quote, and it's not my saying this, but the people like yourself, the organists that play, they're the ones that we take note of, and they're all quite happy with the spec on it, the sound of it. So yeah, we're pleased.
Well, it's nice, like you say, it's nice to find an instrument which is in a hall of this size and with true stereo sound, and of course on a lift as well.
Absolutely.
As we say, they all should be on a lift, shouldn't they?
Well, that was a real bonus. I mean, the first thing is that again, the room for the size of the organ, for the size of the audiences, is absolutely perfect. Yeah. And the fact that with tongue-in-cheek, I said, can we knock the back around a little bit to put some chambers in? And they said yes, and the Trust were very, very supportive of that.
I mean, it happens quite a lot now. You approach a new venue to put an organ in, and they say, oh yes, we'd love to have the organ in, and then you say, well, can we knock the wall down to put the organ chamber in? Yeah. So how did this building come along? Because was it just an accident, or did you have your eye on it? Or?
Believe it or not, this was the 14th venue that I visited.
Yeah, I can believe it.
To try and find it. And the criteria, again, as you probably know yourself, you can't put these sort of instruments in a venue and then say 12 months later, well, we're moving out, Yeah. It had to be a long-term commitment.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so social clubs were out, private venues were out, and then I happened to be passing up the road, and I saw Fentham Hall, and I called in, and by coincidence there was one of the engineers, local engineers, who was working on the sound system. So I inquired who's responsible, and they said, gentleman in the corner shop. He's the man who knows everything. So I trot over, and this is the 14th time I've done it. Went in hand and said, I won't hold you up, but can you just give me 5 minutes and then I'll go? And he listened, and he said, that's quite interesting. He said, we've got a committee meeting tonight, I'll put it to them. So I thought,
That old chestnut again.
Yeah, another
exactly,
one, yeah. So I went away, and the next morning he had a phone call, can you come and see us? And that's how it all started.
Yeah.
You know.
And the rest is history.
The rest is history, and of course it belongs to the trust, so it's private, and we negotiated the terms, absolutely admirable. We said what we needed. Then I said to them, why aren't you asking what we can give to you? You know, it's a bit one-sided, I couldn't get over this. And they said, no, it's a feature that we would like to include in our activities. Yeah. And speaking with them, realised that there was a lot goes on in the hall. And as a result now, we've given the long-term commitment that any activities that are involved that want music, we're here, and that goes free of charge to the trust.
Yeah, so it's now a multi-purpose instrument.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's been used for dinners. We even had what we call the Churchill dinner every year it stopped about 8 years ago now, and we had pretty well all the MPs up giving speeches, and it was a proper dinner, evening dress, and we ended up after they'd had the speeches with the last night of the proms. We did all the traditional, on the organ. Great events and all those sort of things, made it very, very, adaptable, if you like, to a sort of the classical side as well as theatre. Yeah. So it's done well. Yeah. It's done well.
Well, thank you very much for joining us. Pleasure talking to you.
My great pleasure.
Thank you. Right, and here we are at the console. There's 11 ranks, all producing different sounds. It's mostly metal, this organ. I think there's only the bottom end of the tibia which is wooden, the rest is metal. And we'll start with typical sound, the diapason, which sounds a bit like this. It's quite nice. You brighten that up by putting the 4 foot on. Rather nice tibia on this. The imitation of the human voice, the vox humana. Clarinet. An orchestral oboe, which is more like a bazooka, really. Cello. Violin celeste. And a flute. Some of the louder sounds of the organ, we've got a tuba. And a trumpet. And of course we've got what you'd expect from a theatre organ, some of the percussive effects like the xylophone and glockenspiel. Also on the top we've got chimes. And on the top manual, unlike the great, we've got bells and xylophone on re-it, which is a nice effect. And one of the interesting sounds you can get from this, which I've always liked, is the off-trem, which is this, which creates almost like sort of an American cheeky Wurlitzer sound, which we like. And we've got all the other things you'd expect as well: cymbal tap, triangle, snare drums, drum roll, which sounds like a machine gun, bass drum, cymbal roll. This is an excellent effect. You can really you know, use your big intros with that, and a cymbal crash. And again, we've got things like castanets, tambourine, Chinese blocks, sleigh bells, tom-tom, sound block. Again. And also, below we have things like the steamboat. One that says operator, and I would assume that's to ring the projection room, but it's a bell in this case. Grand crash. Things like that. We've also got birds. A bit ill at the moment, needs watering. Train. Fire bell. An auto horn. Sirens. And all sorts of things like that. So it really is quite a versatile instrument. And the chap who opened this organ was a chap called Leslie Taff, as we mentioned before. Superb musician, and this is my little tribute to him with his signature tune, T for Two. Well, thank you so much for watching, everybody. Hope you've enjoyed the content today. If you have, please like and subscribe, and we'll be back with more organ chats in a later video. Thanks very much for watching. Bye-bye for now.